Meghan Markle, a newcomer to the royal family, and how she may or may not influence the monarchy itself. Let's go to London because we've got Emma Duncan standing by. She is the social policy editor for The Economist magazine, the preeminent British news weekly. Emma, good to have you with us today. Thank you for your time.
Very nice to be with you.
What does Meghan Markle mean for the royal family? What do you think?
Very interesting indeed. So she is, she's much more like my countrymen than the royal family is, oddly. She may be a foreigner, but she is a normal professional person who's known what it's like to struggle professionally. You know, she's had to pay the rent. She hasn't lived in palaces. So she's going to bring a very interesting new element into the royals.
With the public persona that this couple has, how does it differ, do you think, Emma, from other royal couples? Because it seems to me that Prince Harry and Meghan sort of have very much their own narrative.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, Harry's very different to William anyway. They're very, very close, those brothers, as you can imagine, having had a pretty extraordinary upbringing. But they are very different. So William is much more reserved, much stiffer, much more conventional. Harry is very outgoing. He's an extraordinarily charming young man. I mean, when you see him with a crowd, he likes to be out there. He likes to entertain people. He enjoys himself in a way that William and Kate, you know, they stand back a little bit. And when you see him out with Meghan, she clearly shares that thing. She really likes getting out there. So I think they're going to be a great asset in that way.
Something else that has been said about Meghan Markle, Emma, is that she will help to modernize the monarchy, modernize the royal family. I'm not sure exactly what that means. What's your read on that?
Well, I think there's something in that. I mean, partly because she is more normal than the rest of them. So she's going to bring them closer to the rest of the country in that way. But she's also a very strong woman. She's a very political woman too. She has extremely strong political views, very much about the politics of gender. And that's going to be a big theme for her as she works out what charities she's going to work with, as she develops her public persona. So I think in that sense, too, she's going to be a very interesting person for us to have.
I am a big fan of The Economist magazine, but you know that in your country, the British tabloids have a bit of a different reputation, sort of a no-holds-barred approach when it comes to the royals, and that's certainly been the case for certain publications when it comes to Meghan Markle, talking to different members of her family, going after her father in certain ways, some unflattering coverage as well. What do you make of all of that and how it's played out as we get closer to the marriage?
I think it's been pretty brutal, I must say, and I think she's stood up to it very well. I don't think it's done her any harm whatsoever in the eyes of most Britons, because I think people watch her going through that stuff. I think they have an immense sympathy for it because, you know, most of us somewhere in our lives have, you know, we've had our own difficulties. We have people in our families who have difficulties. I think they watch her going through that and feel nothing but sympathy for her.
One final thing. Your country is continuing to go through sort of political uncertainty after the Brexit vote almost 2 years ago now. There is this notion, Emma, of it being a good news story, a way for the United Kingdom, countries like Canada that are part of the Commonwealth, for us to celebrate a good news story as well. Not to be underestimated, I think.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Gosh, we need a good news story here. And I think it also, it reminds us of the value of the monarchy, because in these very uncertain times, in these very divisive political times, I think it's good for us to have something that speaks so much of continuity and stability. And also, you know, it's neutral. We've got a neutral head of state, which, you know, in these polarized times, is a fantastic thing to have.
Emma, wonderful to have you here with us. We really appreciate your time, and please send our regards to everybody at The Economist.
Thank you so much.